I will see you on the other side. Alright. It sounds cliche because I'm sure you've heard a million TikToks saying the same dumb shit, but please, like, everyone says it because it's true. You are so much more capable than you think you are. Trust me.
I told myself I would go frolicking by myself at least once.
I guess a lesson that, like, people sometimes don't really realize, it's like, there's no reason to freak out in any case scenario. You absolutely 100% underestimate your ability to just figure it out. I never thought I couldn't travel to Europe by myself. It was just a matter of whether I actually pursued it or not.
The plan was simple. To fly to Switzerland on September 1st, take a train to a town called Interlaken, and from there, wing it. The goal, to explore the continent of Europe for 2 months completely alone with no plan.
This place is gorgeous, and it's like literally just Zurich. It's just a city. I'm not even in the Alps yet. This place is awesome. But this is day one. This is hostel number 1. I'm leaving this hostel on Friday to go to the Alps.
After 2 quick days in the city of Zurich, I hopped on my first big train headed for Interlaken. I got to my hostel in the afternoon, like 3 p.m.-ish.
My back hurts.
I was happier than ever to be in the mountains finally. Of course, until the very next morning when I hit my first major mental challenge.
Made it to Lauterbrunnen. It is the 6th. This place it's cool. I'm struggling. This is a little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be, to be honest with you. The hostel I'm staying in is cool. There's cool people. It's a cool little hostel. But the bunk room, like where I'm sleeping, it is ass. There's a part of me that's like screaming at me, like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. It's literally only been like 5 days, but I don't want to go home empty-handed. Is ultimately what I'm trying to say. Like, I came here to figure some shit out, and so when I start feeling these things, it makes me feel like I'm on the right path, but it fucking sucks. I don't know, man. I'm gonna just wrap this up because it's been really fucking great.
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot since that day. I think the only thing that was really bringing me any sort of comfort in that moment in time was that I knew that the sort of pain I was feeling was my growth happening in real time.
Are you kidding me? I decided to start walking from Lauterbrunnen to a town called MIRL, and this is turning out to be like the best decision I've made on the whole trip so far. I keep stressing out about like planning out decision, like what's next, like, but then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just do it. I will figure out how to get back later. I also just like don't really care right now because I'm kind of in heaven.
Yeah, that hike was emotional. I was really struggling that morning and I didn't really know what to do. I was scared to make a move because I didn't know really how I would get back. And that's when I realized it would probably be better if I just jumped and I'll figure out how to get back later. And that was the mindset that led me to some of the most beautiful places I had ever seen, to meet some of the coolest people I'd ever met throughout the rest of this 2-month adventure. One of the main destinations that I really wanted to see along this trip was the Dolomites. Located in northern Italy, they were going to be kind of difficult to get to from where I was in Switzerland, so I decided to take a couple stops along the way, one of which was a place called Cinque Terre.
I'm currently in La Spezia, Italy, in Cinque Terre. It's been such an interesting experience so far. I don't know. It's like I'm starting to realize how capable I actually am of doing this stuff.
Terre was the first solo, like completely solo stay of the trip. I wasn't in a hostel, I was in a private room for the first time in like 2 weeks, which is really nice, but I mean, it definitely was a little bit lonely at times, but I was still kind of just in dreamland because I was just doing this by myself, so I felt pretty good. The only thing with Cinque Terre was this place was packed with people. I did a couple hikes, drenched in sweat. There was a lot of people on the hikes, and ultimately it wasn't my favorite place by any means for the whole trip, but I'm glad I stopped there at the very least because it broke up the trip to the next stop, which was the Dolomites, which was probably the best stop of the entire trip. But I wouldn't get there before probably one of the most stressful days of my entire life.
First, like, kind of legitimate problem. My literal first train of the fucking day got delayed. And so now I'm, like, kind of screwed in a way. I was supposed to get to the town that I'm going to in the Dolomites at, like, 3 p.m., and now I'm not going to get there till like 7:30. Well, I'm not going to get to a town called Bolzano until 7:30, and then it's an hour and a half car ride from Bolzano to the town I'm trying to get to, and there are no trains and no buses by the time I'm going to get there. So my only options are to rent a car or get an extremely expensive Uber or taxi, and I've been sitting at this train station for like an hour. This sucks, but it's gonna be a long day. I figured it was gonna be a long day, but this is even longer than I was hoping.
Since I had 5 train transfers, that means I would be obviously switching trains 5 times, which means if one of the trains was too late, I would miss the rest of the trains. And the very first train of the day was like 40 minutes late, screwing up my entire day.
I have been, oh my god, yeah, we're doing this. I have been on trains for the last 12 hours. We made it not to the hotel that I'm supposed to stay in, actually. I was supposed to take a bus from Bolzano to Val Gardena, but the last bus was at 7:25 and my train got in at 7:30. The two options were Ubers or I spend the night at the train station. So I decided to do neither of those things and get an emergency hotel in Bolzano. Cost me $170 for the night. Today was a stressful day, I'm not gonna lie. It was stressful, and I feel actually like really amazing that I'm here and alive and breathing. Tomorrow I take the hour and a half bus to Val Gardena, and I hope I don't fuck that up. But the good news is that if I do fuck it up, I have the entire day to figure it out. So
10 a.m. the next morning, I took the bus straight to the town I was staying in called Val Gardena, right in the middle of the Dolomites. And it quickly became apparent to me that the suffering I had endured the day prior was completely worth it.
I'm just now seeing the room that I booked here a few days ago in the Dolomites. Dude, are you kidding me? What have I done? I'm here for 4 nights. I think it's safe to say that like the entire shenanigans that I had to go through yesterday and today was worth it. Because holy shit, I'm so glad to be back in the mountains, dude. Pretty sure I actually just died, and now I'm here.
I was still alone, but this time it was different. This wasn't loneliness, it was solitude. I didn't speak to very many people over those 3 days, but I was happier than I had ever been.
I told myself I would go frolicking by myself at least once on this trip.
I logged over like 30,000 steps on all 3 days in the Dolomites. I hiked up thousands of feet, my body was screaming at me, but I didn't hear it. Every second I got to myself out in these mountains, I was convinced I was the happiest person on earth. This was the most beautiful place I had ever seen.
Look at that behind me, bro.
I went through some serious challenges and spent a lot more money than I wanted to in order to get here. But I can confidently say that every second of stress, every penny spent, was completely worth it.
Alright, today is day 22 I don't know when the fuck that happened. I made it to Innsbruck, Austria yesterday. There's really no, like, objective today at all, which definitely is fucking with my head, as it usually does. When I try to not do anything for a day, I feel depressed. Something I did realize in the Dolomites, I actually kind of enjoy my own company a lot more than I thought I did. Like, I don't know, back at home, I always felt like it was definitely getting to a point where I started to kind of, like, hate myself for some reason. Whether it was because I couldn't do things I wanted to do or thought I wasn't good enough or whatever it was, I kind of just, like, didn't like myself and didn't really like who I was, I guess. I don't know. But here, I still feel, like, a lot more comfortable with myself, if that makes any sense. Which is just a weird feeling, because I guess I've never really felt that way before. Like, I feel more, like, secure and, like, a little bit more confident in my own skin.
I think Innsbruck was the first time that I actually started to miss home. Up until that point, I had been pretty decently distracted by everything and still adjusting to the life. Yeah, I remember sitting down on that bench and didn't have much of an objective that day, and I definitely was starting to think about home a little bit more than weeks past. But on the second day, I was able to spend the day up in the mountains again, which made me feel a lot better. I went up to the top of Innsbruck, which is a mountain that's at about, I think, 7,000 feet. It was nice to forget that feeling for a day.
This is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, the more you sit still, the more everything catches up to you, you know. Start thinking about my dog, and, you know, when you're in the mountains, it doesn't really matter how homesick you may or may not be. Like, you don't really think about it, you don't really care. But in the quiet moments in between, it definitely starts to hit you. The next stop after that was Salzburg, but Salzburg was really just like a home base in order for me to go visit Hallstatt. Hallstatt is a crazy little town buried in the mountains on a lake, only accessible by boat. I was in Salzburg for 3 full days, I think. This was definitely the highlight of that little excursion. This was another one of those touristy spots. When you look up places to see in Austria, the first thing that's going to come up is probably Hallstatt. So there was a fair amount of people there, but I tried to make do with the experience as well as I could.
Today is day 28. I'm feeling something I never thought I would feel. I'm bored. Like, I'm literally bored. For the past, 5 days, I've just been I don't know. I'm going to Budapest tomorrow, so Budapest will be cool. I'm there for 2 days, but the cities to me are just and I know Budapest is supposed to be really cool, I guess, but I don't know.
And little did I know, I could not have been more wrong. The next few days would be some of the most challenging of the entire trip.
Today is October 1st. I've been in Europe for 30 days. I'd love to tell you that I'm having such a great time and this is so cool, but the past week has been kind of shit. In the past 2 days in particular, today included, definitely not having a great time. I don't know, I just have not been enjoying myself here at all, and I haven't met anyone here either. I've tried a couple times to talk to people and meet people in my own hostel to no avail. So I was gonna go to Vienna and then Prague. I'm still going to Vienna because I already booked it. But honestly, I don't think I'm gonna go to Prague. I deadass think I'm just gonna go back to fucking Switzerland, dude. I genuinely think where I belong is the mountains. I'm just gonna go back to the mountains. I do not like cities. Even if they're surrounded by mountains, I don't really like them.
Budapest was the first time that I think I really, really struggled. My hostel was this weird Squid Game looking place. It was hot at night, so I was sweating in my sleep. The bathroom was on the other side of the building. It just, the whole thing was kind of a disaster, and I was really concerned because my plan was to go to Vienna and then Prague and then Munich, and those are all cities, and it was very clear to me at this point that I did not like cities. But regardless of this, I decided to just follow through on my plan anyways. And that's when I ran into an absolute disaster of a 4-hour train ride.
We made it to Prague. It's October 6th. I can't believe it's been over a month at this point. Yesterday I took the train from Vienna to Prague, which was 4 hours, and I didn't have a reserved seat because you didn't need one, but it recommended it, but they were all sold out. So I wound up on the floor for 4 hours. Great stuff, lost feeling in my legs. But I got here and it was raining. That sucked. And there's just a great, nice old gentleman in my 6-bed dorm here in Prague that snores like a sailor. It is so oof. And on top of that, he loves to make lots of funny noises in the middle of the night. So regardless of my sleep-deprived and sick state, I actually feel pretty good because I only have 1 day here in Prague because I'm getting sick of cities, to be honest with you. Although I will say Prague is pretty sick. Vienna was also pretty cool. Vienna was actually not that bad because I met some cool people and spent the day with them. Booked my flight home for October 31st from London, so I gotta find my way over there. I see the end of the tunnel, not that this is a dark, scary tunnel necessarily, but I see the end of the road, which is comforting for sure. Has definitely had a bit of an impact on my mental state, knowing that there's an end now. I just think that the last couple weeks have been Vienna was nice because I got to hang out with some people. Prague is cool. I'm by myself, but I'm only here for a day, and it's actually kind of cool here. And I'm going to Munich tomorrow for only a day. And then after that, I said, fuck it, I'm going back into the mountains. I'm going back to Austria and then Switzerland and then Chamonix. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I'm definitely looking forward to going home, but I know damn well I'm gonna miss every even the moments in Budapest when I was fucking miserable. I'm gonna miss that when I get there. I'm trying to remind myself that no matter how much my feet ache and no matter how much my shoulders hurt and no matter how much I want to strangle the snoring old man across the fucking bunks from me, I'm gonna miss all of it. Trying to keep that in mind and pushing forward. But I can't wait to get back to the mountains, honestly. I don't think I'll have another chance to make one of these before then, so I'll see you in the Alps. 18th. I have 13 days left in my trip. If I look miserable, it's because I kinda am. Yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a fuck up with like scheduling my stays and everything, because the trains yesterday to go to Chamonix from where I am just like didn't exist basically. So, which means that I've been in Switzerland for 3 full days, and this place is the most unremarkable place I have been in this entire trip. I'm not even kidding. This might be worse than Budapest. On top of everything from like there being nothing in this town, the weather being shit, there's no one in this hostel. There's nobody. The cherry on top of all that is it's expensive as fuck for no reason. Yeah, the past 3 days have sucked, I'm not gonna lie. I actually called it quits on a hike today, which I've never done. This is the first day the sun has been out the entire time I've been in Schwitz. And I went to go do the only hike that I even came to this town for. And yeah, there's just fucking a ton of people on that hike. It's an extremely popular hike. I mean, it wasn't there. I was not able to get any shots with just me in it. I didn't even try, to be honest, because it was that bad. Definitely thinking about home a lot, especially in the hard moments. But I don't know.
The next day, I was more than happy to finally leave that place and head for Chamonix, France. I was a little concerned because the weather wasn't looking too good, but this was another instance where it ended up being some of the best days of the trip solely because of the people that I met there. The weather sucked for basically the entire time I was in Chamonix, except for legitimately a single hour of the second day where the weather cleared up just for us to go up to take a look at Mont Blanc at around 12,000 feet. And I'm really glad that it ended on that note, because this was my last destination in the mountains. After this, I would be heading for Geneva, and then Paris, and then London, and then that was that. After what felt like a pretty long trip from Paris to London, I arrived at my nice hotel to give myself a bit of a break from these hostels. And yeah, my trip had come to an end.
Oh my god, dude. This is honestly like such a weird, this is such a strange feeling. I never thought I would see home in this light where I miss it so much, even though like just over 2 months ago I was like losing my mind and I hated it there. But I can't believe I haven't been home in basically 59 days at this point. Yeah, this has been a crazy like 2 months. I've never ever done anything even remotely like this in my entire life. One of the things I discovered about myself is that I'm just kind of like chill. I don't know. I always saw myself as someone who kind of fucks up under pressure, but every single instance in this entire trip where it was like, oh shit, I missed this train, or oh shit, this got canceled, the anxiety was there for like a couple seconds and it was gone. I was just completely confident in my ability that like no matter what happens, I'll figure it out. There was never a moment where I started to like panic. And I mean, that's a lesson that I've learned, or a lesson that I've kind of already been aware of. And there's someone's right. I guess a lesson that like people sometimes don't really realize. It's like, there's no reason to freak out in any case scenario. You absolutely 100% underestimate your ability to just figure it out. I didn't think that I would be 22, I think, when I would do something like this crazy. I thought that I would need more real-life experience before doing it. I wouldn't say I have all that much life experience here at 22 years old, and I went out to Europe with zero plan, and I figured it the fuck out, and everything was fine. It sounds cliche because I'm sure you've heard a million TikToks saying the same dumb shit, but everyone says it because it's true. You are so much more capable than you think you are. Trust me, you can. I never thought I couldn't have a YouTube channel, a successful YouTube channel. I never thought I couldn't travel to Europe by myself. It was just a matter of whether I actually pursued it or not.